I take this much mousse. You don't want to put too much because it grows. Again, flip the hair over. And prayer hands. I always get it in my ear. Get out my ear. Hi besties! Today's the day. Today we are doing my curly hair routine video. I've been putting off this video because I've been knowing that I wanted to get my hair like professionally done after not having had it done in literal years. If you watched my sacred hair video, then you know some of the lore. But last week I finally went and got my hair done by a curly hair professional. And now not only do I slightly have a different style of hair, but she educated me so much. I wanted to make sure that I could bring as much information to this video as possible. As you can tell, it is definitely hair wash day. So I'm gonna kind of take you step by step through my process and how I do my curls. I generally style them more for length than volume, and with that my curls hang a little bit longer as opposed to puffing out and being more round. That's just like the way that I like to do them. So I'm going to share all of the products and techniques that I use to achieve that kind of look. Now, we can't start off a curly hair routine video without talking about what's going on in the shower as we're cleansing. And really quick, even before I get into that, I want to talk about how I have scalp psoriasis. And if you don't care about this, you don't have psoriasis or whatever, skip to this time right here so that you don't have to sit through it all. But I do think it is some important context and something that is not talked about nearly enough. But my psoriasis started developing like at the end of 2021, and there was like a whole year where I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and I just thought my shampoos were wrong, or I needed to be oiling my scalp or whatever. I literally had no clue. I tried so many different like at-home remedies, different kinds of dandruff shampoos, all of that kind of stuff, and the itching was just as bad as the flaking, and I couldn't understand what was happening. And so I finally went to a dermatologist where they told me that I had psoriasis, and so I've been like trying to figure out how to manage it for ever. Like literally ever since I got that diagnosis, I've been trying to figure it out. I have done so many like topical creams, steroids, I've taken pills, I have prescription shampoos, like pretty much everything that you can do to manage it except for injections. I haven't gotten that far yet. I've tried so many different things, and I've tried like holistic stuff like tea tree oils, scrubs, like so much stuff. And so last week when I went to the hair salon, I was talking to my stylist, and she was telling me about how it's so common for people with curly hair to have psoriasis. And I have never heard this before. I've been on all of the Reddit threads and I've never heard about this, so I was kind of shocked to learn that. But basically what she recommended to me is to find a good anti-dandruff shampoo, which I know sounds so simple, but she really recommends ones with zinc in them because zinc has a lot of like antimicrobial properties, I believe. And she said that every time she suggested this to her clients, they've come back months later and their psoriasis is pretty much gone. So I've only had this information for about a week, and I just got a shampoo, and I am still using my prescription topical steroids to try and help manage this, but I'm hoping that this will help change some of the results. So to start off my hair care process in the shower, I have been testing out this CeraVe anti-dandruff hydrating shampoo with purifione zinc. It's 1%. It also had a lot of really good reviews, so I'm like down to try it. But something that is really important to note with shampooing your hair, especially curly hair, is that if it doesn't lather, then it's not done doing its job. That's why so many people recommend double shampooing, double cleansing your scalp, because the first time it's kind of getting that base layer of all of the grit, the grime, clarifying, all of that kind of stuff. And then the second time you go in with shampoo, you'll realize that it lathers a ton more, and that's when it actually starts doing its job. So I've been doing this twice. The first time I leave it on for like 5-ish minutes. My showers have gotten so long just because of the amount of time that hair products need to sit and treat my scalp and my hair. So anyways, I leave the first round on for like a few minutes. I rinse it out and then I go back in again and leave it on for another couple of minutes. Doesn't need to be as long as the first time, but when I notice that it starts to lather, I'm like, okay, now I know that it's doing its job. So I'm testing this one out. If this works and really helps my psoriasis, you guys will be the first to know, I promise. I'm hopeful. So keeping my fingers crossed on this one. And this shampoo, even though it says hydrating, because it's got the zinc and it's like meant for anti-dandruff, it is sort of clarifying. And what my hairdresser said is that it's important that like once or twice a week we are using clarifying shampoo on top of like hydrating or whatever kind of shampoos you like. So if you don't have problems with your scalp, dandruff, whatever, then another shampoo that I really recommend as far as clarifying goes is the Sacred Clarifying Shampoo and Scalp Scrub. I really love the nozzle on this because you can really pinpoint where you want to apply it, and then you can leave it on for a second, scrub it in. It feels really nice, and like it almost has a cooling effect. So I really like that clarifying shampoo. Now, outside of like scalp care and clarifying, I want to make sure that I'm treating my tresses of my hair just as well as I'm treating my scalp. So I do go in with another shampoo, and that's when I like to go in with a more hydrating one. So I like to use the Sacred Hydrating Shampoo. I really love her line. I am a Beyonce stan, obviously, but I really like this shampoo, and I feel like it genuinely makes my hair feel super soft. So I do a lot of shampooing. I don't use all three of these shampoos every single shower. Sometimes I like rotate through them just depending on what I feel like my scalp needs at the time. But that is the current state of the union and the current products that I'm using for cleansing. Something else to note is I brush out my hair in the shower. That might be a big no-no. I didn't tell my hairdresser I do this. She said that she brushes hers before the shower, but I do it right when I get in. I let the water seep into my hair and I use my Tangle Teaser. I brush it out and then I do my shampoos. So I do multiple stages of that, like I just said. After I shampoo, I brush it back out again, make sure there's no tangles, and then I go in with my conditioner, and this is the Sacred Hydrating Conditioner. Again, I really like her products. What can I say? For this, I make sure that my hair is detangled, and then I go in and I flip my hair upside down and apply it to my hair, like finger comb it through my hair upside down. So that way it kind of helps a little bit with volume, so it's not just so flat to your head. But as I let the conditioner soak into my hair, I like wrap it up into kind of a bun when I'm in the shower, and that's usually when I like do my body wash, I shave, all of that stuff, so I can really let it seep into my hair. And after the conditioner has seeped in, I rinse it out. I rinse it out upside down as well. And then when I'm getting out of the shower, I put my hair into a microfiber towel like this, like just a hair towel. Please, my dear sweet besties, do not use terry cloth, normal towel on your hair. It's much too abrasive for your hair in that damp of a state. So I like to use a microfiber one. It takes out the moisture without creating any friction that will cause breakage. So big tip there, use a microfiber towel. Okay, I think that that's all that you need to know in regards to like shower, hair care, all of that kind of stuff. So now I think I'm going to pop into the shower and then I'll be back to show you my styling routine. Okay, post-shower sab here. You can see my little microfiber towel on top of my head, keeping my hair nice and protected while it dries. But the gag is that we don't actually want our hair to dry all that fast. Really, I just put this up so I'm not dripping everywhere. But I try to move like as quickly as possible once I get out of the shower. Because when you're styling curly hair, you actually want to style it while it's very wet. So I take my hair out of my little towel, and then I take a spray bottle of water. I like this one, I got it from Amazon. It's got like a continuous sprayer. Yeah, buddy. I put filtered water in here. So if you need a Brita for drinking water, then you should probably filter your water for your hair as well. So I use my Brita water for this, and I also have a filtered shower head in my shower too, to make sure that I'm getting the cleanest, nicest water possible for my hair. Pretty much this entire styling process, I'm doing it upside down. So I flip my head over and I just spray it liberally. I'm flipping my hair all over the place, and I want to make sure that I can hear the squish. That's what you want. You want lots of water in there. Then I take my Amika Hydro Rush leave-in conditioner and I do the same thing. Not as much as the water, but I'm still spraying, flipping my hair, making sure it's getting everywhere. And then I scrunch it in. Listen to that squish. And my floor does get slippery from this step. So if you've got hardwood floors or any kind of non-carpeted surface, be careful. It's a hazard, low-key. But the next product is the Sacred Moisture Sealing Lotion. And one of the things that I have to keep hunching over. One of the things that my hairstylist told me was that the 3 things you need to know about curly hair is hydration, tension, and consistency. But with that, to create the look you want, you need to make sure your hair is hydrated, aka lots of water, leave-in conditioner, moisture sealing stuff to keep it nice and juicy. Then use tension, which I do with this step, and then consistency is just making sure that you're doing it over and over again so that your hair gets used to the curl pattern, the products, and how you want it styled. At least that's what I took away from it. So anyways, moisture sealing lotion. I'm not sponsored by Sacred, but I damn well should be. I love their products. Sacred, if you're listening, hey. I take about that much product, distribute it through my hands, and again, flip my hair over. And this is where the tension comes in. I do the prayer hands method. So I'm just running my hair through my hands and using that tension to really make sure it gets distributed throughout my hair and is on every strand. And once I feel like it's distributed enough, I scrunch again. Then the last product I put in is the Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Mousse. This one's just a tried and true. It's a level 2 on the hold scale. So it's soft and touchable, not crunchy like gel, but make sure you shake it up so you don't hear any liquid. It sounds like there's nothing in there. That's making sure it's foaming up. And then I take this much mousse. You don't want to put too much because it grows and it's a lot, but that much mousse. Again, between the hands. Again, flip the hair over and prayer hands to evenly distribute. I always get it in my ear. Get out my ear. Prayer hands, scrunching, the same gist. Then I carefully flip my hair back right side up. So once I put all of the products into my hair, then I come to my big mirror just because I like to stand while I do this. And I start to play with more specific curls just to make sure everything lays nicely and the way that I want it to. And that's specifically my bangs. I just make sure they're nice and parted down the center. And then I literally just kind of take my fingers and finger comb them so that there's no tangles. And then I kind of just scrunch them up. And then I'll take little pieces and just kind of twist them around my finger to create little coils. I'm not gonna lie, my bangs tend to have a mind of their own, so sometimes the back gets a bit tangly, so I'll just finger comb through that. And every time I finger comb anything out, I make sure to scrunch again after. And I'm trying to scrunch to make sure that my hair is not lying flat to my head as I scrunch. I tilt so that there's a little bit of space to try and give it a little bit of volume. And if it ever gets too dry again where you don't hear the scrunch, I just add a bit more water. And then that's really all that I do. I let my hair air dry. I'm not good at diffusing my hair, but also I work from home. So I'll shower in the morning and then I let my hair air dry throughout the day. The mousse will create a kind of cast, so I just kind of leave that in for as long as I want. And then I'll show you how I break the cast a little bit later when my hair's a bit drier. I wash my hair twice a week, so that generally lasts me until I need to wash it again. But yeah, I'm gonna let my hair air dry for a little bit and then I'll be back to break the cast and show you what my day one hair generally kind of looks like. Okay, so my hair is not like fully dry yet, but I am going to leave the house and I want to break the cast. Something that my hairdresser told me as well is that if your hair is in a cast and you're letting it like air dry, it's not going to dry as quickly because there's not any airflow like going through the strands because it's in a cast. So even if your hair isn't fully dry, you can break the cast and then it'll start to dry a little bit faster. So you can use a hair oil to do this. I honestly use this Trader Joe's hair serum. You guys are probably like, why does this bitch get all of her like cosmetics and skincare and hair care from Trader Joe's? It's just really good and like at a very reasonable price point, so why not? But I really like this serum. I only really need one pump, and then between my hands, I do the same thing that I did before, just like flipping my head over, and then with tension, just like prayer hands going down my hair. And then, like I said, my hair isn't fully dry, so it's not gonna get the full volume, you know, of like up here at the roots, but it is nice. You can see the cast has been broken. My hair looks so shiny, so cute. I like day 1 hair, but my favorite is probably day 2 hair. And I want to show you guys what it looks like after it's all fully dry. So either I'll come back tonight after I get back home or tomorrow morning when I wake up, just so I can show you guys what it all looks like. But yeah, that's the step of breaking the cast. Like, look how shiny and defined. Hello, Gorgina. Hey, bro, hey. Okay, see you guys later. Okay, besties, it's the next day, and this is the final result of the hair. This is usually when I like it most. Like, it's got some volume in it. There's still a lot of definition going on from the back. And what I like the most about styling my hair this way is that these are my natural curls. They're not like manufactured with a brush or anything. It's just kind of fun to see like what my hair will do when I just put some products in it and let it do its thing. The only curls that are probably manufactured are like right around my face, just because I want those to be a little bit more uniform. But other than that, this is what she do on her own. Honestly, it's a really simple routine, and that's why I like it. I don't like to spend too much time doing my hair and trying to style it a bunch of different ways. I hope that this video was helpful if you're looking for just like a super simple, easy curly hair routine. And also, if you have psoriasis on your scalp, I hope that those little tidbits of information help you as well. I'll definitely keep y'all posted on how my scalp's been going with that new shampoo, but already I feel like I can sense it working. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you want to get a weekly dose of your beauty bestie sab, then make sure to subscribe because I post new videos on Thursdays. And I want you to hang out with me. You can also find me at Beauty Bestie Sab on the other platforms, and make sure to hit the bell notification button so you can be notified every time I upload a brand new video. You're amazing, you're beautiful, and I literally love you so much.